Welcome to Cleaning Company Blueprint. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of people start their own cleaning companies. We're currently hosting a 21-day program on Zoom, and we're posting the recordings here live on YouTube. So if you want to follow along, subscribe and like the video.
Today is day 5 of our 21-day program, and we are going over how to use ConvertLabs as well as how to create your logo for your new cleaning company.
All right, so before I start, I just want to quickly share this. So I don't know if you guys remember who Ty Lopez is, but he got like this famous ad like 10 years ago where he was in his garage with his Lamborghini and he was talking about what he likes better than material stuff is knowledge. And then he panned to like all these books. But anyways, he's kind of been like an internet guru for a while now, and he's recently coming back. But he made this video that I just watched and I thought it was pretty interesting. So I want to share with you these points. So he says he has this 10-10-10 rule that he follows when he's starting a online business. And the business should follow these 10 rules, or these 3 rules. The first rule is that the business should be around in 10 years. So you don't want to do something that's like drop shipping with a particular product that might not be relevant in 10 years. The business should be around for 10 years. The second rule is that this business should do $10 million gross revenue within those 10 years. So about $1 million a year average run rate. And then the third rule is that it should be 10 out of 100 difficulty, meaning once the business is up and running, it shouldn't really be that difficult to keep it going. And then he has 3 other rules that ideally you should follow. And these are that you should be selling something that rich people buy. You should be selling something that rich people hate to do. And also you should be selling something that rich people love. And I thought this was funny because this is basically the cleaning company to a T. It basically follows all of these rules. So anyways, I just wanted to share that really quickly. I thought that was kind of relevant to today. So today, we're basically going to go over ConvertLabs. It's going to be kind of a quick demo. I'm not going to try to get too detailed into it, but I just want to kind of give you a quick overview of like what it does and how you're going to be using it every day to run your business. So let me share my screen now and we'll get into it. So this here is just the get started screen. I recommend that you kind of go through these things. They're just different settings, but basically when you click on this button, this section will disappear. So just go through, after you connect Stripe, you can just go through it. And then when you click these buttons, it'll just be gone. And then this page will disappear for you. So what you're going to see is basically this dashboard here. And you know what? Let me reload. This is a demo account, by the way, so all the data that's in here is not real. So here you're going to see the dashboard. You're just going to have some basic breakdown of your business. There's also a live stream. You're going to see all the recent bookings and stuff that's happening in your business here. And this will be a leaderboard that will load that will show the current top companies on ConvertLabs. And you don't have to be public if you don't want to be public on there. Some other things, there's a team activity up here. So if you click on team activity, you're going to basically see your teams for today and like where they're at. So each team has a team portal. So they could be on their phone and they can basically click that, they're running late to a job, they're en route, in progress, or the job is completed. And then you'll see them kind of move throughout here throughout the day. And then there's also a list view here. And then the other thing is most of these pages have a create booking button. So if you get a call and you have a customer on the phone, you can just click on this and you can create the booking yourself or your virtual assistant or whoever. So it's basically, contact information, service address, your services will be listed here, date and time here, frequency, any notes, like how you're going to get into the property, credit card will be here. You can enter in their credit card information, where they came from, and then also you can add in multiple people in here so that you can know who actually created this booking. And then you just click on complete booking, and they will show up on the next page, which I'm going to show you right now. So no matter if somebody books on your website or if you create them, like how I just showed you, they're going to show up on this page. And this is probably where you're going to spend most of your time. This is basically a list view of all of your bookings, and it's going to default to this month. And on this page, there's two main things that you're doing. One is charging customers, and the other one is you have to assign a service provider to go actually do the work. So this is, again, a demo account, so it's not in order. You're ideally going to see this in order. What you're going to see every day is you're going to see this charge button. And what this means is that the booking is available for it to be charged. And how the system works by default, you can turn this off if you want, but how it works is every day the system goes through every 15 minutes, and any new bookings for tomorrow, it will put a credit card hold on that booking. So all of your bookings for tomorrow and today will have this yellow charge button. There's also paid and unpaid. These are just for non-credit card related bookings, but that should be pretty rare. And let me just see if there's another example. Okay, and yeah, the reason why we're doing this is because sometimes, it's usually less than 5%, you're going to see this hold failed. And what this means is that there basically wasn't enough funds on the credit card, or the credit card expired, or it was marked as stolen or something. So this basically lets you know that this card doesn't have enough money, at least, to complete the transaction. So what you should do is basically give the customer a call and update that credit card. And you can just do that by clicking on edit booking. And then where it says payment method here, you can click on this and you'll be able to edit the payment method on file. But assuming that you don't have to do that, you're just going to see this yellow charge button. You click on this. This is the amount for the booking. And then you can click on charge, and that money will show up inside of your Stripe account. And so the reason why we do this is so that you're basically just not chasing payments, because you did the work. You have to pay your team for the work that they did, and you can't get payment from the clients. So with this, you never have to worry about that. The second thing that we're doing on this page is we're assigning service providers. So most people, I think they assign a service provider as soon as the booking comes in. So it gives them the most amount of time so that their teams know, that they have that booking for that day. So to assign a service provider, you just click on assign. And this is actually new. So we just released this. So there's a couple of ways you can assign a service provider. One is you can literally just click on assign, and they'll get automatically notifications. They'll get a text message. They'll get an email that basically says, hey, you've been assigned this booking. And they can also log into their service provider portal and see all that information for the booking. There is a way for teams to update their availability, and that happens automatically. So in the settings, you can pick the day of the week for them to basically get a notification to update their availability for the next week. And if you click on this, you'll basically see their availability for this particular day for this job. And then you can basically go through and see who's available if that's how you want to do that. And the other way is you can invite service providers, and you can invite multiple service providers, and the first one that actually accept it will get that job. If you want to invite, let's say, 5 service providers, but you only want 2 of them to get that job, you can just put 2 here and on the bottom, and then you can invite as many as you want. And the first 2 to actually click on that email and click accept, they'll be assigned automatically to that booking. So that's kind of primarily the thing that's happening on this page. You can click on a client here and you can visit their page. So this is going to be an individual customer client page here. You're going to see if they're on the schedule, their information. You can charge their card. Sometimes you just have to, randomly charge a card for, they called, they want to leave a tip or something. Any notes will be here. So you can do notes for internal notes. You can do notes for the service provider for the next booking or for all of them. Any booking history, invoices, quotes, and payment methods will be here. Let me just go back to bookings page. And so, yeah, that's kind of essentially what's primarily happening on this page. And again, if you ever need to edit the booking, you can just click on edit and edit anything on there. A couple other things too. So you can click on things like rebook. There's a credit card link here and cancel booking. So if, let's say, a customer calls and they want to create a booking, but maybe they don't have their credit card with them, or they don't feel comfortable giving it to somebody over the phone. You can just say it's going to be a cash booking or anything else, just by clicking here, other payment methods, and then because it says unpaid, because it's a cash or non-credit card booking, you're going to see this credit card link, and this link will give you a unique URL to this specific booking, and you can just copy it and text it to them, and they'll be able to securely enter in their credit card, and it'll associate it with that customer and the booking. And then sometimes there's some like other, let me see if there's some other. Yeah, so here, this is a credit card booking. We can do a couple of things here, like mark it as paid. You shouldn't do this. You should be charging it unless there's some specific use case. Cancel the pre-authorization, cancel the booking. So there'll be different options here based upon, the criteria of the booking. And here on the payouts page, so after a credit card is marked as paid or charged, and only after that, then you'll see the teams here and then what they're basically owed. It'll calculate if you're paying them a percentage or by the hour, basically what they're owed here. We have an integration with a company called GigWage, and this allows you to pay them directly from inside of ConvertLabs. Otherwise, you have to pay them via Zelle or whatever. And we'll talk about this when we talk about hiring, but in the beginning, it's not super critical. If working with someone for the first time, maybe you should just pay them via Zelle if that's what they use, just so that they're comfortable and it's not a big deal. But if you are signed up with GigWage, there'll be a button here that says pay via GigWage. You can just click on it. It'll appear. It'll tell you how much money is in your GigWage account. So it's a separate account that you'll have with GigWage. So it'll say, you have $1,000 in that account and you owe them, $200. Click this button and they're paid instantly. And but by the way, this is only for the US, not for Canada. And if they've added their debit card, they can get that money instantaneously. So you click this button, money's inside of their debit account. And for a lot of people, it just works really, really well that are using it. So, but otherwise, if you're not using GigWage, then essentially you're just zeroing out that you've paid them somehow, so that way you can keep track of it. So that's payouts. Here's calendar. This is really just a calendar view of your bookings that you have on here. And then you can click on them. You can drag and drop, all of that. And then we have invoices and quotes. This is separate from bookings. So bookings we think of as something that's associated with set services and pricing. So we typically price our services by something like bedrooms and bathrooms to give you an idea of how big the house is, because it's very simple. Not everybody knows how many, what their square footage is or something like that. So, but you can add square footage if you want. But yeah, so that's associated with bookings. Invoices and quotes are going to be something custom. So you can create a quote, and a quote is basically a way for you to add it to the calendar. You can save it. You can send it to the client for them to approve it. And here you can put something like, 10 hours of cleaning, and you can just say that's going to be, $1,000. You can have additional line items, etc. So again, separate from bookings. This is usually for like commercial jobs or something like that. And then here we'll have a customer list page, and you can find customers on here. And then there's also a happiness rating, which is the average of all of their reviews that they leave you. Those are internal reviews. There's also on the very top of every page, there's a search bar. So you can search for a customer. You can search for kind of teams as well and anything else. And if you click on it, you'll just go to that individual customer page, or just click on here too. And then we have service providers. So this is how you're adding in service providers. So it's really easy. You just click new service provider. You can give them a title, first name, last name, email, phone number, and then you can give them a color to associate with them as well. When you add them in here, they'll automatically get an email, and that email will have a link that they can use to sign in. So they don't have to create a username. They don't have to create a password. It's just a secure link that they can use. And we were doing it this way because when we did it, username and passwords, people were just forgetting it, and it just becomes really annoying. So we have a secure link for them. There's an option here where it says allow service provider to assign jobs to themselves. If this is selected, then when they log into their portal, they'll see any jobs in the system that are unassigned, meaning nobody's been assigned to that job yet, and they can pick that job for themselves. So I would only recommend this if you have just like an all-star team that you really trust. And it's not, definitely not for a new person. And then if you click on a service provider, you can set here business hours and then wage. So if you want to pay them by the percentage, you just put in 60% here and then click on update service provider. And that's what we're going to use to calculate their payout on the payouts page. And then scrolling down, we have gift cards. So we have a gift card widget on your website for people to buy gift cards. And this is just a way to manage those gift cards and track that those payments and balances. There's a live stream. So this is basically going to be all the recent things that are happening in your business, from new bookings coming in, charges, what your teams are doing, all of that's going to be in the live stream. So you can click on that and then every day kind of see like what's happening. And then discount codes. So I like discount codes because you can, just create something like Rohan Rocks 10, and you can create this. You can create it as a percentage, 10%. And let's just say you have a customer who's like kind of on the fence, or a lead that's kind of on the fence. You can create this discount code, text it to them and say, hey, you can use this code. And because you personalized it, they're much more likely to book with you because it's just kind of a thoughtful thing to do. And you can create as many discount codes, and there's a bunch of different settings in there for that as well. And then settings, I'm not going to try to get too detailed in this today, but under settings, you click on services. These are going to be your services. So what you're going to be charging for bookings. And you also have pricing parameters. So it'll basically add these two. So it'll say, 2-bedroom, which is 120. And if they have a 1-bath, it'll add 19. So it'll be 139. And you can to edit these, you just click on edit. And then you can just edit the price here if you want for that. And then there's also categories. So categories allows you to have different services associated with that category. So you can have a category that's standard cleaning. You can have another category that's move in, move out, another category that's deep cleaning, and you'll have to add additional services that are associated with that. So that basically you have just different pricing. Another way of doing that is if you want to charge for move in, move outs, or deep cleaning, you can just charge a set rate by including it in the extras. And deep cleaning here as an example, we just have it as $20, but maybe that'll be $100 or $150. And so you could do whichever way. This is kind of the simpler way of doing it. But extras are additional items that you can upcharge for your booking. Highly recommend you have as many extras as possible so that your average booking cost can go from $130 to $250+. So you can add in as many extras as you want, and then you also edit them. Click on edit. There's an icon that you can also have, which will go on your booking form. And then there's frequencies. And again, this is all set up by default. So if you want to edit it, you're kind of already seeing what you're going to edit, which is pretty easy to do. Customer portal. So I think I'll mention this tomorrow, but customer portal, what you're going to do is you're just going to put in your company name here, or an abbreviation of your company name, because what this is going to do is allow your customers to log in to your website. So you put your name in here, click save, and let me just show you an example. So here we have the awesomeaids.com, and then this allows you to have this login link, which your customers can click. And by the way, when a customer is created in the system, they automatically get an email with their logins, so they can log into their portal. They'll see their booking history, they can book again, they can see their payment methods that are on file, and they can edit those. And there's also a referral program. So a couple different ways of setting this up as well. But essentially, they can share this link, and anybody who books to your website using this link, they'll get $30 credit. And they can also set this up so that this link gives a discount code as well. And so conversion tracking, payment settings, I'm not going to go too much into the weeds here, but for example, referral program, that's how you can kind of set this up. Notifications, it's not going to load here because this is a demo account, but on the notifications page, you're going to basically see all the notifications that go to your company, your customers, your service providers, and there's also a log of every notification that has gone out to your, to these different people. And then time and scheduling, you don't really have to do anything here, but you can if you want to edit how you're like scheduling. Obviously, your time is kind of set up here. And then you can have custom block dates. So there'll be a list of holidays here, like Christmas and New Year's, and you can toggle that on so that nobody can book for those holidays. There's by the way, there's some holidays on there by default, but it's just not going to load because this is a demo account. Here we have different codes for booking form, gift card form, and the quote form. These are automatically added to your website. So when we create our website, I think tomorrow, there's nothing you have to do. You don't have to add these in here. It'll be automatically there for you. There is one thing that you might want to be doing. There's a little Q&A section, a frequently asked questions section on your booking form. And if you click here, you'll see those questions and you can modify them if you want. And then here, these are just the different integrations that ConvertLabs offers. So Stripe, obviously, we went over that yesterday. You can just click on connect if you haven't already. It should say connected once you are connected with Stripe. There's GigWage if you want to connect GigWage. There's Nice Job, which we'll talk about another day, and then Zapier. So with Zapier, you can send your leads to some other marketing program, bookings to whatever else you want to go, and kind of manage different software that have to do maybe with like marketing or something that you want to use. So that's the booking section. There's also a marketing section. So on your website, let me actually go back here. So on your website, there's this form that will be on there. There's different versions of this form, and we're basically collecting leads on here. We're tracking if these leads create a booking on your website. And so here, you'll see the leads come in. There's a lead list. You'll see it here. The leads will come in here. And then there's also an email sequence here. Oh, it's not going to load because it's a demo account. But there's also a lead sequence where you'll, if they do not create a booking on your website, then they'll get a series of 7 emails over the next 27 days to get them to book. And it actually works pretty well. And then there's a bunch of different widgets that we have here. I don't know if this is going to load. There's a pop-up that we have here. There's a banner that can go on the very top of your website if you want to have some type of promotion that you can utilize here as well. And then we have, let me close this. Then we have websites. So we went over domains and how to get a domain on here. And then also, yeah.
Can you show the email templates?
Yes. If it'll load here.
Oh yeah, here.
Yeah, sorry, I did go over this. So there's also a bunch of emails that we have in here that you can utilize to send to your lists. So we have a bunch in here. Let's see, Halloween email. They're all pre-written, and you can just kind of go through this process and send this to your customers, your one-time customers, or your leads, and try to get them to book. So we've tried to make this kind of as simple as possible for you to send one-time emails. And yeah, there's just like a bunch Victoria Day email, Canada Day. So yeah, we have all these set up, and within like 5 minutes, you can send an email to whatever list that you want. And so let me close that. And then websites. So we'll go over this on another day about getting your website, but getting your website is really easy. So you can just click on preview theme and you'll be able to see the, this theme up here and what your website could look like. And if you don't like it, just click on X. But when you have a website that you like, you just have to click on select theme and go through that process. And your website will be up in like 2 minutes. So it'll just ask you to create a subdomain. Doesn't really matter what you put in there because it's just temporary. And assuming that you have a domain here, it'll automatically connect those two and your website will be up. So it's really, really easy. But again, we'll go a little bit more in depth to that on another day. And then lastly, your accounts. So there's a settings section. Global settings, you want to make sure that this is filled out. So you want to make sure that your country is in here because this is going to change, if you're using dollars or what. You want to put in your company logo when you have that in here. This is going to go out in your emails and everything. Your company email. So this is going to be the email that your recipients see when they open up that email. It's going to come from this email. And then your company name and then company phone number here for getting texts. So you can add in your open phone number after we, set up our open phone, and those notifications will come in there. There's also a way to have staff accounts and admin accounts. So let's say you created your ConvertLabs account with your personal email. What you can do is just add another admin account using your business email and just use that going forward. But the email that you created your ConvertLabs account with is going to be associated with your billing account. And if you have staff, you can do this as well. This is just going to kind of hide your revenue numbers from your staff. And yeah, if you want to change your password there, and yeah, that's pretty much the gist of ConvertLabs. If you ever want to schedule a call with me, you can click this button here. There's also a referral program, community, and then there's documents where we've kind of documented how everything kind of works in there. And then there's a little toggle up here where when we release new features, you'll see it up here. And I think that's about it.
Sweet. Fantastic.
That was awesome,
I know,
Kevin.
I know you guys are going to have like a bunch more questions and everything, and definitely do not feel overwhelmed. It's a lot. I mean, imagine like never being on Facebook, and then the first time you go there, it's just, there's so much stuff. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. So what I recommend is like, just take a few minutes and just kind of go through page by page, look at all the different settings and everything. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And if you want us to set up your pricing, you can always send us like your pricing list. Or, if you try to upload like your company logo and it's not looking right, just send it to us and, we'll make sure it looks good. Because you only have to set things up once and then that's it. You don't really have to worry about it. You're going to spend most of your time on the bookings page anyways.
Few questions here in the chat already. So Colette asked, can you add informational notes on extras to inform customers? For example, this only covers 1 hour of cleaning. And so I gave a quick answer just saying we'll go over pricing models and how to manage client expectations, because I know immediately you're already thinking about how many hours something is going to take. So we'll have a different conversation about that. It's a huge topic and it's related to everything we do. And then Philip, I can see you've got your hand raised. I'm just going to keep going through the chat first. Colette asked, what software is being used to send out mass emails, and does this go to the customer's spam folder or main inbox?
So that's ConvertLabs is sending it. We've spent a lot of time making sure it does not go into spam. So when you do send an email, you should not be getting that. But we also recommend that the emails that you add into ConvertLabs are your actual customers and leads, and it's not just a random list of businesses in your city or something like that, because that will ruin our reputation. And we do manage that, and will just, prevent you from doing that in the future. Because yeah, we want to make sure that our reputation for sending emails is high so that they don't go into the spam folder.
And I'll just add on to that, that the main thing with ConvertLabs is that landing page when you first arrive and you see that they can enter in their details. There's a button that Kevin showed where you can turn on I think there's 7 emails you mentioned, Kevin.
Yeah.
So those emails are optimized. And I know for us, we have about a 48.5% conversion rate, both from the emails and from the phone calls. So they convert. So you don't need to play with those 7 emails. They work. That's the highest conversion I've ever seen in any kind of email campaign. I've done a lot. So, don't reinvent the wheel. We've got another question from Donna asking how many jobs a cleaner can do a day. And then we'll go to Philip and then Sophia. So how many jobs can a cleaner do in a day?
Typically, you're going to think about 3. It's a pretty safe bet, assuming none of them are very large jobs. If it's just one person, 3 might be pushing it. But if you have a team of 2, which is ideal, then they should be able to get to 3 average sized jobs within a day. If one of them's a move in, move out, or a deep cleaning, then that's not going to be the case. It's maybe 1 or 2. Yeah.
Okay, good evening. Kevin, first I want to salute you. I have worked for a lot of different businesses and ran an IT department at one point, and I have never seen such a well thought out back office in all my career. So hats off to you.
Wow. Thank you so much.
That's right. I mean, it looks like you covered just about everything. The one thing that I didn't see was anything geographic. So if you have a customer that's in a particular postal code or zip code, is there any way of pairing that with your team that lives closest?
So yes and no. So we don't yet have a way of having like geo-fencing where you can, for example, limit bookings from coming in. I just personally don't like that philosophy. I would want that booking to come in and then figure it out myself. Yeah. But when you're naming your teams, you can name them so that when you're naming your teams and you're assigning a team, it's going to show them in alphabetical order. So if you first have in your team name the city and you group it that way, then when you're looking at your different teams, you're going to see them based on the city first. Okay. Because you're putting that in the team title name. So that's a way that we were able to do it, which worked really, really well. So you can use different geographical areas, and it really has to do with managing how you're assigning teams. So doing it that way works pretty well.
Okay. And if you got a large city, you just pick a neighborhood name or something.
Yeah, I mean, so typically with teams, you're going to want to be able to, when you're starting your company, most of your team should work in most of your area. They'll be willing to travel, 45 minutes or more driving to go to a job because they're usually getting paid, over $100 per job. So it's not really that big of a deal.
Okay, thanks.
When you select the email campaign template, does the system automatically generate the discount code already, or do you have to manually go in the system to create the code?
You'll have to create the code and then add it into the email.
Okay.
Yeah. Philip's asking about gift cards. So let me share my screen and show you what that looks like. So gift cards are for clients. So this is an example of what your website could look like. And then you have this gift card form on here where anybody can gift somebody some cleaning time. So, they can put in here $500 and they can send this to their sister, whoever. You can also, if you run promotional campaigns for whatever, Mother's Day or Father's Day or whatever, you can send them here to your gift cards by telling them that they can, give somebody the gift of a clean home. And they basically buy this. This money goes directly into your Stripe account. So you get this right away. And then you'll be just managing it inside of ConvertLabs. So if they don't use all of this $500, then it's tracked inside of ConvertLabs. And when they do this, they get an email with their special unique code that they can use for that. So that's kind of how gift cards work.
You can also, when you're going after realtors, so realtors make really great leads when you're first starting out, and you can encourage them to purchase gift cards as gifts for their clients. So realtors almost always give a gift basket, and the environment matters. So you can kind of pitch it like, hey, instead of giving them a bunch of plastic in a plastic container, how about you get them a gift card for cleaning?
Yep.
I know if I was buying a house right now, I would really love that. And we actually get a lot of gift card purchases. It's a nice little perk.
And then Rich is asking, is there a way to segment the list for leads or recurring monthly, et cetera, for your promotional emails? So currently you kind of got to do that manually. So you'll have to export your customer list and then kind of manage your leads via a spreadsheet. It's something we'll be adding on later on. Long story short, we got started with the marketing side of things, and then we kind of paused all of that development to focus on the booking side of things. And so, we haven't yet developed that further. And also that's why we have Zapier. So a lot of people are just using Zapier and it's going into something like ActiveCampaign or Brevo or whatever, and they're just managing their lists inside of that. And yeah.
But again, getting leads isn't usually not the biggest challenge in this kind of business. So I know a lot of you come from entrepreneurial backgrounds where you're all about your leads and your funnels and pushing hard to get more buyers. Give it a few months and it's going to be about the cleaners. Keeping up with the demand.
Yeah, one thing I'll quickly say about email marketing for this industry, because I've been doing this for a long time, especially with email marketing. You want to think that every contact that you have that has done business with you or is a lead or something is worth about $1. And so if you have a list over time of 10,000 emails and you're sending 1 or 2 promotional emails a month, you're going to make about $1 per contact per email, believe it or not. So, Rohan's company, I don't know, probably has 20,000 contacts or more in there. And if he were to send out an email blast, he's going to make about $20,000. And we actually did that one time, and it was way above $1 per contact. Rohan, do you remember what those numbers were?
Yeah. It was like 10,300 or something. And that because at the time I had about 10,000 emails.
Yeah, and you made like a little bit over $10,000 from that.
Yeah.
That one email.
So if you have a lot of cleaners and you need to get a bunch of bookings in to get them out, great way to do it.
Yeah, and then every time, like we're going to get into marketing later on, but like every time you get a lead from anywhere, from Yelp or Thumbtack, make sure they go into your contact list and they don't just stay there and get stagnant and you forget about them. They have to go into your lists for sure.
That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment or a question below. And most importantly, go to cleaningcompanyblueprint.com if you're ready to join us in starting your own cleaning company.